deleting them because I couldn't get the orientation correct on the camera. I think my title kind of says it all. So I'm doing the lazy, I thought it was going to be lazy quick version of a VR to Nova Mundi Tarot, who did the hashtag editors top picks. And I just figured I'd, kind of try this off the cuff, shoot and roll and see what comes up. So I don't know how this is coming across to you, but I'll just roll with it, and hopefully at the end of this there's actually a video that you can see and join in with. And I have Deanne. Hi Deanne. Yeah, we got there. Thank you so much for persevering with me. It wasn't pretty, I'm gonna say, but I can't even see myself on my own channel right now, so according to this I'm not even live, but you can see me, so I am. How's your Saturday going? You're just starting, aren't you? Whereas I'm 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, so it's all good. It's weird, they've changed the way lives work. I know it's been a while since I've gone live on YouTube. Probably do it once a year, in fact. But yeah, it's changed. It's not as simple. Normally I just point, shoot and go and orientate my camera whichever way I like. This time it wasn't allowing me to move my camera, so I don't even know what orientation I am showing for you, because this isn't even on my YouTube channel. Which I always enjoy. You lose the ability to have that little safety net of what's going on. Yeah, I can't see you on my channel. Oh, I can't see me on my channel, so I can barely see comments either. You're just hanging out at home. Now tell me, are you in your tarot room or are you in your appropriated tarot room today? You know what I mean. If you can hear the munching, that's not me, obviously, because I'm talking. That's Marjorie. She's decided to get up and have her breakfast. She's having a totally lazy day. You know it. You know it. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen Nova Mundi's tag, or if you've done it actually. You might have done, I'm not sure. So I know you like to do lives as well where you incorporate tags. But first question, so it's picks decks that I would use. So you are in the unique room space with me, and as all my cupboards over here, so you'll see my backside when I go to check for decks. So the first question that Nova proposes is inner child work, a deck you recommend for inner child healing, and one that feels safe, nurturing and playful, ideal for reconnecting with innocence, creativity and emotional truth. So if you want to pop your answers in comments if you're here live, or if not, if you want to just pop in comments after the live, that would be great. Inner child work, that's tough. I can't really say I do inner child work. I mean, anyone who has been on my channel might be semi-aware of that. Maybe because I'm a perpetual inner child, I don't know. I have decks that remind me of childhood. Yeah, that's hard. Inner child work. Hey Marjorie. I can't even find anything in here. I mean, there's a deck that's maybe close that's coming to mind, and I can't even see it. I am thinking Peggy's Sassy Dragons, that's what I'm thinking. Because it's got that sort of cutesy vibe to it. In a child perspective. Yeah, the deck is evading my shelf, I can't find it. Which means it's 5 deep in the back of one of these. Where on earth is Sassy Dragon? Oh, okay. Yeah, move some decks out the way. So it's that one. And I I suppose, yeah, maybe my childish side. I know many of you are adults and you wouldn't buy a sassy deck. I can't help myself. I just think they laugh. So yeah, perhaps this is my inner child coming out, and it's the one with the expletives, because I wasn't going to buy anything else. If I'm going to have sass, I want the sass in full on the deck. So this is the deck that maybe is my recommendation for inner child work. If you are me, if you are like me, if you have quite a Queen of Swords aspect on life, this may be the one for you. Perhaps that's why I like it, because it's dry, matches my humour. I'm just like you. Which one did you pick, by the way? Yeah, no readings today. You're right. Sorry. I can't find anything. I tried to be organised when I got these cupboards and things, but no, it never happened. So there you go. That's my first deck. I mean, I might do a collective reading at the end, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that anymore, because I've not done one for so long live. I mean, I don't think I've read for somebody in probably since I started my new job, so like 4 years since I've done like a sit down and read or like random pulls. So it gets a bit scary. Boo Tarot. Oh yes, brilliant choice. I have that one now. I got that one for my birthday. Yes, that one too. If I wanted to be less sassy about my wording, that would be perfect. Yeah, that's a brilliant deck. I completely agree. I don't have any of the oracles that I see go with it, and I think she has a Lenormand, Boo Lenormand. Don't have those, but yeah, that's a brilliant deck. That's a good one from the air signs, isn't it? Shadow work is the second prompt. So we're talking about a deck that's powerful for helping readers face their shadows, honest, deep, unafraid to confront the difficult. I don't actually need a deck for this. I can just answer my own question, to be honest. So I am my worst enemy when it comes to this type of thing. I can just talk. If you keep coming to me for a love reading, I'll be the person that's like, I don't have to pull a card for that. I can answer you that question. But if you want pretty images to make it softer, then we can do this. But, yeah, so from a shadow work perspective, I have one in mind actually that I do often pull out, and I do say, if I need shadow work, this is my shadow work deck. So I have one here. I don't know if it's a deep transformation and self-inquiry though. I'm not 100% sure it's going to be that. Yeah, it is the sweetest little deck, but I love the glittery on it. It's the glittery, probably my magpie, my child self, that loves that, and the fact that it reminds me of Casper the Friendly Ghost. Although I was grown up when that came out, my partner took me to see it at the cinema. But from a shadow work perspective, so the deck that I do use actually, if I'm like, oh, this is a shadow work spread, I'm going to get the deck out and I'm going to get some answers, is Hush Tarot from Jeremy Hush. Many people, it's a Marmite deck, but the secret's in the book, and the book is not big. It has very small amount of words, but the way he approaches it is thought-provoking enough for me. So it's mainly the book here. So I could use any deck, to be honest, as long as I've got his book to hand. Yeah, see, another air sign here loves the hush, because we just like to get into the nitty-gritty and get it all out through the communication. But there is some nudity in this deck, so I'll try not to show the nude cards. It has a bit of a vibe of that, the one that everyone's going crazy for at the moment, mass market. Is it the Witch Sisters Tarot? I don't have that deck, probably because I have this one. It didn't really feel like I needed it, but I think it maybe has a little bit of that vibe to it. It's very not RWS, not even close. But it has these nice colours, and there's a lot of kind of decay and images that maybe provoke you a little bit into thinking, to sitting, to pondering. Do I sit, ponder? No, because my brain works too fast. I'm off on the next thing always. But you know, my ideal me would. I throw the cards down, I look at the images. If I get something, I get something, and then I pull the book out and I take out the extra bits from the book if I'm doing shadow work. So I just find this is an easy, quick one. So if you're like me, you just want easy, quick answers and you're not looking for too much blurb, perfect. If you want something much deeper, I'm probably not the person to ask for that because I don't have a lot of shadow work-esque decks because I tend not to use the books that come with most of the decks. I have my own now, developed my own set of criteria, words, readings, ways of reading cards. And I know you can buy decks and you have a book, and you know people like to get into the book. I'm just not that person. So I think you could buy a specific book for shadow work that was much bigger, much broader, with a lot more text and dives and safety nets inside it, perhaps to help you. But yeah. Diane is thinking Shadow Tarot. Shadow Tarot. Is that indie? Have I got it? No, it sounds like one I have. It's not the one I'm thinking of. But, yes, that one. Shadow Journey Tarot. Shadow work. I mean, this one didn't come with the guidebook. If this is one we're both talking about, but gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Love it. The artist is amazing. I do love this art. I think I've got 5 or 6 of his decks here, and some that are actually duplicates. I have a couple of duplicates, so don't laugh at me. But the duplicates, I'm thinking I do need to get rid of and move on. So I do have a couple of decks of these that I don't require. I just haven't worked out how to shift them. So I have ones that I would like to move, but obviously I don't know if it's done through a giveaway, if it's done through a sales page, but I don't know where people sell decks anymore. And safely at that, because there's been so many scams out and about. So I always get weary of, you know, somebody paying for an indie deck and retracting their purchase after it's gone. Because, you know, it's not cheap, but anyway, that's just a me thing again. Not this one. Okay. But you have this one. You've talked about this one. We've talked about this one. I'm sure we have. On one of your lives, in fact. So Blue Crescent Tarot obviously has a channel who is doing moderating for me today. Very kindly, she's popped in. Love her. So deity work is prompt number 3, or spirit guides, a deck that serves as a spiritual bridge, perfect for working with deities, spirit guides, or higher realms. It holds sacred energy and supports devotional practice or channeled messages. So I don't work with deity. I don't think I have channeled messages, but I did start the Nancy Hendricks grimoire. So I've just got to come over here. Sorry, I'm trying not to move too far out of the shot. But I'm coming. I have a bag for my ancestral grimoire journey. So it's that one. And I use the Tarot of Strange Antlers. Sprouts, the French deck. So I use this one to connect for the readings that come from the spreads in this book. I find this one's really good. And I've left it in the bag since I started this kind of journey. Haven't taken it out. All the decks that I've used are all in here. However, like most things, I pop off because I get bored after a couple of months, and then maybe a few years time I might come back to it. So it's in my ongoing workings pile, and I use that with another deck. So it comes with 2 decks. It comes with and no, mine is not hole punched. If you know, you know. I was absolutely horrified to tune into somebody's live the other day and discover they had hole punched an entire Trionfi della Luna or Deviant Moon deck. So it's this one. So this and that deck together come up with the most, it just felt like a reading from another place. didn't feel like my normal tarot reading. Totally just, maybe the word is channeled, I don't know. Yeah, it was like the inner knowing. It's just this like gut feeling that it was coming from, not necessarily spirit guides, but it felt ancestral, it felt deeper than, and I don't get that feeling very often. So those decks are in here. I do also have in here for that sort of work, I have the Gentle Tarot, which I layer on top of it. So this is a small one in a tin. I have the book that goes with. There's all sorts of tools and stuff in here, so it's not just tarot decks that I use for that, answering that prompt really. I have a mini like travel altar, and I have pendulum in there. But yeah, so that's a whole thing. This is a whole project that's been on the floor for a very long time. I do need to get back into that one. Art history for past lives. Yeah, my brain's gone. It's like it's a hormone thing. It's an age thing. I can't lie. Okay, so I kind of answered prompt 4 as well at the same time. Ancestor work. I didn't realise that was all by itself. A deck you'd suggest for connecting with ancestral wisdom, be it lineage, healing, or honouring those who came before. So it's that one. But there is also, if you wanted specific decks that are namesaked for it, actually by a set creator. Now, I bought these to do Nancy Hendricks' book, but as I said, I found different decks that matched the criteria. However, this one, the Relative Tarot by Carrie Paris, and her Oracle to go with. I'm just trying not to knock that thing again. These two are really good, and they are very old agey. I have recently done a side-by-side of the Relative Tarot with a couple of other decks like the Stretch Tarot that look similar. It's got very nice, they are glossy though, very nice artwork in this one. Love a Tony project. My projects are everywhere, Deanne. It's like the wind came in and blew the leaves off the trees, and they've just landed absolutely everywhere in my in my space. They're just, I think that's why my brain can't cope right now with anything else. I'm just like, I'm taking, I think I said in my June wrap up, I'm sort of taking a bit of July out to catch up, to empty my brain, my thoughts, and stop the speeding winds. Maybe even the scattering leaves. It might be nice to bundle up the leaves a wee bit. Hello, good morning. Have Rochelle. No, I know, it took me a long time to get live, but I'm here. Yeah, the list of mental to-do projects is like this, but nah. Who cares really? At the end of the day, it's not actually going to impact on anyone's life. Right? I'm not saving lives. I'm not doing cardiac arrest surgery or anything like that. Cardiac arrest surgery. I'm not doing cardiac surgery. It's not cardiac arrest that I'm attending. So I'm like, I have to put it into perspective in a very severe manner for me to be able to let go of my Virgo side and be like, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We can get around to it whenever. Yeah, it's afternoon. I think we're getting on to 2:30 here. Am I looking sun-kissed? My hair is still wet from the shower. I haven't, but thank you. That's very kind of you. Let's move on swiftly on from number 4. We have Divination, a deck that excels in traditional divination, clear, direct, and accurate. This is your top pick for those seeking predictive insight or practical answers. What do you think I'm going to pick? Ooh, direct. Come on, there's only one. What would you pick? What's your most direct deck? I only have one. It's rather rudely MIA. a very good sign. I had it out the other day. Okay. I've only got its sister deck, so it's Deviant Moon. This one's direct. This one gives sass. This one doesn't play around, but not the paradoxical. I mean, you can use paradoxical, but the one I would pull out is the coloured version. I just don't know where it's gone. That's bothering me now that I know it's not where it's not in its safe space. Bothering me. Oh, Tower of Oneness. That is such a good deck. Yeah, that is such a good deck. I haven't used it half as much as I should. And I believe it was Ms. Rochelle that tempted me into buying that one. So I think we can end on that deck for my most straight talk deck. And it's the one that, you know, my channel kind of started with. It's the one that will always be, it's not going to go anywhere. It's always going to be the one that I pull out. Any top anything, any VR anything, it's probably going to be somewhere in that stack of decks. And those who've been around from the start or know me will know that that's what you're going to see and that's what you're going to get from me. And that deck, if you know it, is me. That's me in a nutshell, pretty much. I think that one just reflects who I am, my personality. That's a really great way to describe myself, isn't it? I am the Deviant Moon. If you don't like the Deviant Moon, first exit on the left. I don't mean to scare you. As above, a deck that connects the reader to cosmic spiritual realms, ideal for soul work, life path exploration, or messages from the higher self. It speaks to the divine perspective. Probably a couple. I'm thinking of one in particular just because it feels like it comes from a higher perspective, I think. Now screw it, I'm going to show two. Two long-termers I feel speak from a higher perspective. Now, Amethyst Ascension, who's in chat, also has a ridiculous number of decks that would fit this one. I think she's probably got a whole shelf, actually, that might do this. Yes. So I was going to show my second choice first, which is this one, the Guardian Tarot. I love this deck. I do use this one for off-the-wall readings. If somebody wants to know about their beloved, when I used to read, a lot of people, if they wanted to know about their deceased person, and they had a question, this is the deck I would use for that. It just felt like it came from a higher realm, a different space, a different place. And the guardians in the trees, just that connection to as above, so below for me. Although many of you might be looking at this thinking that's a bit freaky. I find the colours really gentle, warming, soothing, and very, very gorgeous. So that is one, but the one that I was thinking, the first one that came out in my hand is exactly what is in comments. So it is the Shimmering Veil. It has that feeling to me as well. It's the whole thing, it's the vibe, it's the portal kind of energy on the back, it's these wonderful holographic sides, and immediately I've got like normal paintings at the top. It's these images. And this deck sits beautifully with an oracle called The Healing Spirits by Gordon Smith from Hay House, so a mass market oracle deck. Goes beautifully with this deck. And there is also an oracle from Celia Conway. Confusing with Celia Melville. And I don't have that oracle, but people I've seen do merge them and match them together really nicely. So this one I find is, yeah. So this one I find is really good. Do you want to see the other two together? Maybe, as I've mentioned them. I'll try not to do a, here's my million decks for the same prompt. Well, just so you can see. So the oracle is the green boxed one. And here's just a couple together. So one more, and then I shall move on to the next prompt. So this is the oracle. I didn't say this is the tarot. In all of the shows, it's been that way around. So they do just feel like they go very well together from an aesthetics perspective as well. Yeah. So Angelarium. Oh, nice. I look forward to seeing the walkthrough of that one. There's two, isn't there? Angelarium and the other one. Both on my wish lists. I just haven't bought them because I'm a good girl, by the way. See my halo shine. Oh no, wait, you can see my aura shining here. There we go. That's my angelic aura. So below, let's go dark. A deck you recommend for grounded, real-world readings. The one that captures everyday emotions, human experience, and earthly wisdom, clarity and depth. I would say Deviant Moon straight off the bat again. But if you wanted something that shows emotion, it's going to be that one. Just because of the facial expressions that Poppy has painted into these. Like you can see the joy, you can see, let me try and find something. Let me try and find a frowner. I can't find one. Oh yeah, here we go. You can see sort of the pain. So I just feel like this one really does show emotion. I wouldn't go near that chef. Not if his name's Gordon Ramsay. I do like this deck for those reasons. But as I say, Deviant Moon would be my go-to predominantly. It's probably the sort of week I've had in work. So yeah, I do like this one. Yeah, perfect. So I'm not the only one in chat. See, we're slightly aligned. What did Deanne pick? Hello, welcome. I'm squinting because I haven't got my glasses on and I'm on a little tiny mobile phone and chat is that big at the bottom and I'm like, oh, but without showing you all my grey hair, okay. You're stuck with this one. Deanne has quite the Dragon's Hoard of decks. The other one would be the Urban Tarot. That's actually a good one. That's got some good abstracty facial kind of pictures on it. But I think this is my favourite faces. At the moment. Next one, a hug deck. A deck that offers emotional support and comfort. Gentle, compassionate, soothing. This is a deck that feels like a warm hug for anyone that's having a tough time. I probably would pull the Sassy Dragons, okay? Just FYI. But now that Deanne's reminded me, there's only one really that I should pull for this, isn't it? It's going to be the Boo Tarot. I think it's the closest I have now to maybe a warm, comfy, cozy, cute, vibey deck. So Deanne's going for Elemental Tarot, maybe? Black and white sepia sorts of soft base decks. So yeah, I think this would be that deck for that one. The kind of hug deck, maybe. I mean, you have to define the word hug, don't you? So do you mean hug, like you want cozy, warm vibe? You just want to sit, cuddle up in the sofa? You want a warm blanket, cocoa? Or do we mean like I need a physical human hug because my emotional kind of cells are so low that I just need to replenish and to siphon some of yours? I think that's why I don't like hugging people. I don't want them siphoning my energy. Yeah. Oh, and germs, of course. Feel good deck, a deck that uplifts, encourages, and energizes. So, whether through colour, artwork, messages, this one is a perfect feel good recommendation for readers who want joy and empowerment. So, what would we want for that one? In fact, I have to read it again. Feel good deck, a deck that uplifts, encourages, and energizes. So if I'm recommending to you a feel good deck that's in my collection, because it uplifts, I'm going to go with one that you guys have already mentioned again. Tarot of Oneness. I think because of the colours, the aspects, and the way that this deck depicts things. Deanne's going for a Robin Toastal Tarot, is it? Eyes Wild Tarot? Eyes Wide Tarot. That'll be on Make Playing Cards, I presume, Deanne? Lovely. Thank you, Rochelle. Lovely to see you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I think the colours, so the reason why I'm picking this is the colours and the images are fairly gentle, and I feel like this is a feel-good kind of deck that people would like. And this one, I think, is now mass market. No, this one's not mass market. There's another one I've got that's gone mass market, I think. I think you can get this in the mini. You can definitely get this in the mini, and there's definitely an oracle to go with. That was recently on Kickstarter. Did I show that one? Look at that. Spirit of Pentacles. A cute little bunny wabbit. Absolutely beautiful images. It's got everything in it from a wildlife perspective without being creepy. Right, that's those. Number 10, most versatile, a deck you recommend for handling any type of reading. Love, career, shadow work, daily pulls, everything in between. Reliable, flexible, reader, friendly. This is the all-rounder that adapts to every situation. I mean, to be fair, to answer that question, I would pretty much use any deck in my collection if I fancied the artwork for the day. Because at the end of the day, tarot is a tool, it's 78 cards, they have their set meanings, the imagery is additional. And I do use pip decks as well. I have quite a few pip decks, in fact. Most versatile, which one's the most? Deviant Moon. I've shown that how many of these answers now, so can I show that again? Probably should try for something different. Oh, I tell you what, let's go with Paul's Moon from Libra Moon Inc. Look at this. This is quite versatile. It's very beautiful medieval type of artwork. It's got gilding on it. Backs are gilded. It's not an RWS, which is why I think maybe it's versatile, because it's not RWS. You're not led down the rabbit hole of those set meanings. You've got cards with images that you can focus in and out of and use to read. Deanne in chat there also does a lot of pip decks, so, which I do recommend. I recommend that you don't get stuck with any one type of deck or just stuck with an RWS bunch of decks. You know, personally, I think like pick them up and read them. Same goes for Thoth. If it's a Thoth-based deck, they've all got the same meanings. They all came from the same place. If you like the artwork, pick it up and read it. It doesn't matter what you think about the original creators. If you like the image, then I don't see why you can't have fun with it and read with it. But this one, as I say, is from Libra Moon Ink, so it's a beautiful production. So that one's a good one for, I suppose you could use that for a lot of things. And I've noticed it's come in on a lot of people's top 10 decks. So it's not just me, it is a recommended deck. Most inspiring deck. I didn't see what Deanne put in. I know you were talking about pips. Most inspiring deck you recommend to inspire creativity, intuitive flow, or personal transformation. Whether it's the art, the energy, or the depth of the message, something that sparks something powerful in the reader. Does it spark something powerful in me? That's the question. What sparks my inner? So from a muse perspective, drawings perspective, the Oracle of Black Enchantment that I've shown earlier with my ancestor and guided messages, that one I like to sometimes take an image and draw. So that sparks a creative element in me. But I've shown that one. I don't want to pull that one back out. Oh, it's so hard. Let's go with anymeansnecessary.com tarot deck. This is an art perspective. This is a very me art perspective. These are the backs. Gilded sides. Sorry about the light coming in. It just adds to me ambiance. But these are the so yeah, it's slightly darker in imagery. This lights my creative spark. I don't know what to say. You know, this is like you want to play Disturbed, so you put the Sound of Silence on from Disturbed, you sit down, you throw some cards. This is a deck you want to pull and throw to get you in the flow for, I don't know, reading, writing, drawing. Mildred. Oh yeah, Mildred's Secret Pocket Oracle. That's a good one. Yes, completely. It's just sat there winking at me. But yeah, I do like, so I pick a lot of decks based on art. I pick a lot of decks based on backs as well. I haven't been let down so far by the backs, but when I say she's winking at me, that's what I can see looking at me from the shelf. So Millie's deck, as I call it. It's just like a Lenormand. You just piece it together, throw them down, piece it together like a little story. Although I can't read Lenormand, I can get along with this one. It's very, very weird. Very weird. I think it's because the Lenormand has like a set meaning, whereas these are a bit more intuitive. Still in my dark artistic love phase. It has pretty images in it as well. So, yeah. So there's that one as well, as recommended by Deanne from Blue Crescent Tarot. This is a favourite again through a lot of the old school community in the tarot was in the community. It's one that most people will use to put down on top of, or to clarify, or to give that like end message reading. Much love. Been around for years, though, hasn't she? And that deck grew in size. So lots of people have different collections or iterations of it. And then he would release like a extension pack, whereas I bought now it's all in one. Never say it's all in one, but at the moment it's all in one, so I bought the full deck all in one. But occasionally it gets re-released and then there's like an extra card, isn't there? So you never really quite have them all. What about number 12, best for beginners, a deck you'd confidently recommend to someone just starting their tarot journey. Accessible, clear, and easy to learn with. This one makes tarot feel inviting rather than intimidating. Well, I think I might have one. I think I have one from a very, like, somebody who seems a pillar of the community, been around for many, many years. So I think they put the words to this, but we've used RWS imagery, okay? So it's the Practical Tarot Wisdom. If you're a beginner, I have no issues with you having words on your cards. In fact, I'm like, why not? So this is by Arwin Lynch. So it's got little bits here. So let's read one out. 7 of Swords. Sometimes it's better to keep your ideas to yourself. Don't let your enthusiasm reveal things others might like to take. This is a good time to watch for that person who likes to use your ideas while taking all the credit. And for now, focus on gathering your thoughts. You can share them later. So just other takes on the 7 of Swords. So the imaging that you're going to know with some of her wisdom, and we've got the star backs on these. Nice pocket-sized deck. Is US Games. Do I use it? No, I don't. I bought it thinking I was going to use it, and I didn't, because I learnt with Deviant Moon. And I got this because I felt like I was missing something from not having started with an RWS, and kind of realised that I wasn't really missing much. As I got to know the images, I was like, oh yeah, no, they're really not doing a lot for me. But I think that one could be a good place to get going. Any deck, actually, there's quite a few now, online, mass market, indie versions, where you can buy, it is standard imagery. They have like above, they have reversed, they have glyphs down the sides, they have other keywords down the sides. So there's like so much now on the deck around it that it just builds and helps you read. So if you have mind blanks, mind farts, hormonal moments with your memory, it's there on the deck in front of you, and I think that's a nice thing to have sometimes. Also, I recommend writing on your decks. I didn't at first. I thought, oh my goodness, that's horrific. But I have written on a few of my decks around the borders. I never used to like borders. I preferred borderless. I now write in the borders. So now I like a border because if I want to, if it's like Tower of the Holy Light, very complex deck. So I've written around the borders so I know what the cards mean. So I don't have to get like the huge book, because it comes with a very, 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 very big book. Oh, you're going for Zane's tarot. Yeah. Which one do I have? So I have one of his tarots. But the next edition, so have you got the one with the lips on the back? I've got the one with the trifecta. Tricreta? Triceta? Triceta. I think it's on the back. Prompt number 13. Best for professionals, a deck you suggest for experienced readers who need depth, nuance, and strong symbolism. Ideal for layered readings, spiritual insight, and working with clients at a professional level. Well, what I recommend and what you're going to want is going to be very, very different things. I do know that. But let's go with something that makes you have to know your cards and expand yourself beyond RWS 3. So let's go with the Aurora Tarot. I think this one might be out of print, but because this is blue, but I think there's a black version of it now. So it's just another very beautiful deck. There you go. That's why I think it will push somebody out of their comfort zone for reading. Because if you don't read with pips, you're going to have to. But they're very beautiful pips. So I think something like this would push you out of your comfort zone perfectly. And because it's pips, it takes you away from that imagery, so you have to give a broader reading. This prompt was best for professionals. So a deck best for professionals to push them outside of their comfort. Adding nuance, strong symbolism, ideal for layering readings, spiritual insight, and working with clients at a professional level. So this is my pushing you out of your current workings, understandings, and reading at a professional level. Because I think it's beautiful. I don't think it's offensive to the reader. I don't think it's going to be scary for the sitter, querent. I mean, look at this King of Coins. I'm just wondering, because obviously the cards that everyone fears for other reasons are usually the devil, isn't it? So let's just find the devil. Oh no, look at this. I've got to show this one, the wild card. Just gorgeous. Oh, the Spirit Keepers. Yeah, that would push me. That would push me. That has got so much layer in it. She lives on a different level of intellectual, way beyond my brain cells. Such an amazing creator as well. For anyone who's not aware, Benable Wen, you should check her out. She's a lawyer, right? With just the craziest amount of knowledge. I bet you it's going to be the last card. Did I show it already? I don't think I did, didn't I? There we go. So I just think from, you know, the standard imagery perspective, that just takes away and makes you think about it on a different level. So that's the Death card. So that's why I think this deck would be perfect for those kinds of readings for a person expanding into their professionals. And of course, because it's so I'm taking the word layered literally, so because it's this, you can then layer into it, layer onto it, over it, and this will take like the Mildred Payne Pocket Oracle afterwards. It will take a Lenormand reading across the top of it, so you can clarify on it with other cards as well. So it's an easy one to layer up onto. Somebody annoying like me would probably use the Wildlands Tarot to layer onto it with, because it's another pip deck and it's got some beautiful foiling on it. And I love the concept of this deck, and they're blue, so I just feel like they layer up lovely, nice dark blue, royal blue, and then you've got this beautiful air, earthy, sky blue deck coming in on top. Or like the Everyday Witch, that would be a great one for layering in, depending on what you want from your reading. So yeah. Have you not seen this? The Wildlands Tarot. I know I got it on Amazon, so it was mass market. It is, so it's Polaroids, photographed, they're multi-layered, so they've kind of like been layered over each other, like an overexposure on a camera, where an image imprints over the top of itself. So it's somebody's like pictures while they were out traveling, kind of multi-layered into each other, and then they've added the tarot symbolism to it. I think it's just a gorgeous, airy style deck. I think this is very Gemini. If I was going to pick a tarot deck for the season of Gemini, this would probably be it. So I think they went to like Japan, Egypt, Paris. Did they go to Paris as well? Food markets and things. So now for those who don't know our lovely Blue Crescent Tarot lady, she has a habit of buying decks on bulk, and then they just sit in her lovely room until she comes down and gets them out and opens them and shows them and shares them all with us on a live. I don't know how she does it, but then she'll buy like maybe once or twice a year like that, and then nothing in between. So although like I guess she has a very big hoard, she buys a lot of decks in a very short succession of time. She doesn't buy like multiple decks a month or a week, so she's not got like a problem for purchasing. She just has her splurge, saves up and has a good old splurge. Her little presents to herself. I think that's nice, really. I suppose if you're having a bad day, you want to come down and open something. But then the way my work days can go, sometimes I'll be needing one like probably every couple of hours, so it still won't work for me. So that's professional. So prompt number 14, we're getting there, we're nearly there. Witchy vibes, a deck you'd recommend for those who love witchy aesthetics, moody vibes, magical symbolism, or spell work, supporting casting, altar work, etc., etc., etc. So your most witchy deck. Everyday Witch Tarot for beginners, newbies that want to learn tarot. That one is there. That's always going to be an always for me. Where is she? Babs is going to be the one that I'm going to pull out for the most witchy tarot deck in a tin. So Barbara Walker Tarot from US Games. It's very of its own. So Barbara Walker did the images, I do believe. These are all images, and it has a sort of Thoth-esque vibe to it, but it also has like deity in it, if you like deity, and the deity of the court cards, and there's a little bit about each deity as you go through, so it's worth knowing, reading the little white book that comes with for this. There is no big tarot book that goes with the Barbara Walker Tarot. It is only the little white book, but she did write a book on tarot, and in that there were 2 editions, one which had no images, one which did have images, and that was her deck that got implanted into the images. So although her images are in that deck, it's not a book based on this deck, just so you know. If you think you don't want a new version, you want an old version, just be warned. I've seen side-by-sides of this one with the original deck, which people paid an awful lot of money for. The original deck, the images are the same size, they just have more white space to make it not a pocket deck. And there's a lot more text above and below in different languages and things. A bit like an old style Lo Scarabeo deck. So I say, save your money, get yourself a really good quality version of this, because this is, to me, these pocket decks in tins by US Games are the best. They're just really durable, they're really lovely cardstock, they shuffle beautifully, they come in a tin, I love a tin, and they're not too big for the shelves, and they come with a little white book and everything inside, and you know, how can you not love that? Chuck it in your bag, go, and everything's lovely and safe, and it's not going to go anywhere. So a little bit more unsolicited advice that you didn't need from me about the 2 versions of the deck, but I think it's worth knowing, because I've seen so many people who love that deck that then said they want bigger images to see into, and they've gone out to try and source the other deck. And I mean, that one is under £20, or you can pay £120 plus for the other deck. You do you. I won't judge, but I'm glad that I have discovered that I don't need to do that, because you know I would have done it otherwise. And the other deck that I might pick out is, or you're picking out the Mystical Tarot of the Saints by Psychic Nate. Oh, does it? So it has spell work inside. The other one I'm picking out for spell work is this one. So it is the Oracle of the Witch's Candle, new in my collection, from Libra Moon. Ooh. Comes with dice. Comes with glow-in-the-dark dice. Very cute. And the book, so it's candle magic. So it's done in colours. So you have colour for the candle, and then you have like a little kind of ritual there that you might do with the candle. And then that links to the image on the other page, which also has astrological signs, element signs, colour, and a lunar affirmation. So this image is called Passion Fuels My Soul's Purpose. So we're in red, we're in fire, we're in Aries. And the affirmation is, passion is the fire that ignites my soul's purpose, which is obviously on the card. And then we have a little little thing here, so you can light your candle and you can say into your candle. So if you find a red candle, you know, quiet your mind and everything, light it. A fiery soul, a burning heart, passion's magic, a brand new start. With every beat, a vibrant hue, creating words, something new. A witch's spirit, wild and free, living fully, ecstatically. In passion's flame, let spirit soar, discovering purpose evermore. And then you can let your candle burn down, and you've set your intention. So I like that because there's all different coloured candles in here, and all different things to do. And then at the back, she has these lovely pages of elements and astrological signs and some information about it. I'm saying she, the creator, is Carol Ann from Libra Moon Inc. She has the inspiration for the deck written in here. It talks about her lunar affirmation app that she's got that goes with this as well. And then there's lots of other decks that she's done, which I have plenty of versions of Serpent Peacock. Actually, this is the same person that did Paul's Moon that I showed earlier. And then there's also another way of working with this, where you work with the dice, and then you pull your deck out based on the candle colour it's associated to, and then you pull your cards from there, and then you create a reading depending on what the number is, what the excuse me, what it says to bring out. And then I can't remember exactly, because I did watch somebody do this. Yeah, the cards are the cards that will form your new deck. So you pull your cards out and you shuffle and you pull a card and you get your reading. You can get your reading based on how many cards you have to pull. But it tells you how to do that here as well. So that's really cool. And the deck is just a beautiful red, gilded linen cardstock, cushioned linen cardstock. So it flows really beautifully. So just reading, so you don't have to see me frowning. I'm just reading Deanne's comment below. She's also saying that Black and the Moon are great decks for witchiness too. So yeah, so I think these are really good. Lovely deck. Used it for the month of June. Really enjoyed it. Quite spot on. This works really well with Murder of the Crows Tarot. They chatted to each other quite well. Almost sarcastically, this almost confirmed what the tarot was saying, from where I wanted something a bit softer. It almost just was like, yeah, no girl, it's this, and don't you forget it. So we're coming up to the hour mark. That took long. I honestly thought, right, if I popped on live quickly to do this, I'll be like one and done, 20 minutes or something. That's not true, is it? And then last prompt. Can I read it? Astrology work. A deck you recommend for astrology lovers, cosmic seekers. One that weaves planetary wisdom. And can't read that because it's all blurred out on my thingy because I took a screenshot. But something planetary wisdom, something astrological based. I only have one. I only have like one astrological based deck. That is this one. is another deck if I was going to buy a deck. It's from a YouTube content creator, and it's a little square deck, comes from Make Playing Cards, and they've put all these things onto little square cards, and then they've put keywords onto it as well, so that you can help with keywords and you can lay out your chart if you want to. And that is from Nameste Ascension, who was in chat earlier. So that person's lunar astrological deck is one that I do have my eye on and would purchase. So I just think it actually works really well if I wanted to explore more with astrology. However, for now, this one has done everything I needed it to do, and does everything that I need for the moment. So I'm not in the market right this moment for needing an urgent astrological deck. There was another one, beautiful one, a bit bigger than this, and it is pastel coloured. I want to say Astro Codes. I think I want to call it. It's got very pale colours. The card I can see in my head all the time has always got a little heart on it. That would be the other deck that I would have purchased. It was between this one and that one. I can't remember why I went with this one in the end. It was something to do probably with the cards that you get in this versus that one. But I felt this one fitted the bill better. But yeah, so there's my very long PR to the lovely Nova Mundi. That's my 15 prompts. Thank you for sharing in chat. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed your coffee. My tea went very cold while I was doing that, by the way. I have my tea. It's just cold in the corner. I have to put hot water in it. But I hope you all get to do this one, join in with it, play with it, listen to me and pull your cards out, have a little think while you're doing it, even if you're not a VR community member. You don't make videos, you can always listen along, pull them off the shelf, see what you pull out, or list them in chat down below so that we can all see what you pull for your 15. Until the next one, I wish you all a very good day, and thank you to my beautiful moderator for being here. Until the next time, take care. Bye-bye. And yes, please, we'll see yours tomorrow.